Picture this. It's a sunny morning in 1975 in the quiet hills of Loma Linda, California. Dr. Robert Miller, a young, ambitious cardiologist from Los Angeles, receives a phone call from a local clinic that he simply can't ignore. "Doctor, you really need to come down here and see this," his colleague says, his voice trembling with disbelief. "There is a 100-year-old woman named Betty out here in her garden. She's not sitting in a wheelchair. She's chopping wood and hauling soil." Skeptical, Dr. Miller drives out to the property. He expects to find a frail, bedridden, elderly woman, perhaps confused or weak. Instead, what he finds stops him dead in his tracks. He discovers a woman so vibrant, so sharp, and so energetic that she doesn't even realize she is supposed to be old. She moves with the fluidity of someone 40 years younger. That single moment changed everything for Dr. Miller. It sparked a 50-year quest to unlock the biological secrets hidden inside your body right now. Secrets that could literally add healthy, vibrant decades to your life. But here is what is truly shocking. While Dr. Miller was documenting these incredible seniors in California, another brilliant scientist, let's call him Dr. James Reynolds, was making a discovery in a laboratory that was so groundbreaking it would eventually win him the Nobel Prize. Dr. Reynolds had stumbled upon something extraordinary. He found that inside every single cell of your body, there are tiny cellular janitors. These microscopic heroes have one job: to devour cancer cells, burn through stubborn fat, and actually reverse the damage caused by aging. The problem? These microscopic heroes are lazy. They don't just work automatically. They only spring into action under very specific conditions. And here is the kicker, folks. Most of us accidentally shut them down every single day. We deactivate our own anti-aging system through breakfast habits and daily routines that seem completely harmless. Today, here at the Senior Medical Hub, I'm going to reveal how these scientists cracked the code of cellular regeneration. And more importantly, I'm going to show you how you can activate this hidden superpower starting tonight, right from your own living room. But first, let me tell you about the day that changed Dr. Reynolds' life forever. It was 1988. He was staring through a high-powered microscope at yeast cells, feeling incredibly frustrated. For months, he had been trying to understand why cells sometimes seem to eat themselves. Other scientists laughed at him. They thought he was wasting his time. "It's just cellular garbage disposal," they said. "Move on." But he had a hunch. He engineered special cells and starved them of nutrients. Then he watched something incredible happen. Under the microscope, he saw cellular structures he had never seen before, acting like tiny Pac-Man figures, gobbling up damaged parts of the cell and recycling them into fresh energy and new building materials. He had discovered autophagy. In simple English, this translates to self-eating. It is your body's most powerful, natural anti-aging mechanism. Think of it like this. This process doesn't just clean the house. It's like having a full renovation crew that comes in, tears down the old rotting drywall, throws out the broken furniture, and rebuilds everything with brand new materials. The scientific world was stunned. Here was actual proof that your body has a built-in fountain of youth. But as always, there was a catch. Autophagy only activates when your body thinks it needs to survive. Now, I'm going to share the specific switch that turns this on, but I have to warn you, what I'm about to tell you goes against almost everything you've been told about healthy eating since the 1980s. In fact, there was a common healthy morning habit that 90% of Americans do, which instantly kills this process and accelerates aging. Before we continue, tell me in the comments where you're watching this video from. And if you have any personal question or health concern, make sure to share it in the comments. I read every one of them. I love seeing how far our community reaches, from Texas to Maine. So please, drop a hello down below. Okay, back to the discovery. Dr. Reynolds realized something that would change the medical field. The eating habits of those centenarians Dr. Miller found in California were accidentally triggering this renovation crew every single day. Dr. Miller couldn't get Betty, that energetic gardener, out of his mind. He started visiting more elderly residents in these blue zone communities in the U.S. What he found defied everything he knew about aging. These people weren't just living longer, they were living better. At 95, they were still hiking. At 100, they were still driving and dancing. Their arteries were cleaner than most 50-year-olds in Chicago or New York. Their cancer rates? Practically non-existent. Their secret wasn't expensive pills, surgeries, or genetic luck. It was something they did 3 times a day without even thinking about it. Dr. Miller discovered they followed an ancient principle often referred to as the 80% rule. Before every meal, they would quietly remind themselves, eat until you are 8 parts full. Not stuffed, not satisfied, just comfortably content. Sounds simple, right? Maybe even too simple. But here is what Dr. Miller realized was happening biologically. By stopping at 80% fullness, these seniors were creating the exact conditions needed to flip that autophagy switch. Their cells were getting just enough good stress to trigger the cleanup and repair process, but not so much stress that it became harmful. Picture your cells like a factory floor. When you're constantly stuffed with food, all the workers are busy processing new shipments. Boxes are piling up everywhere. There is no time to sweep the floor or fix the broken machines. But when you give them a break, when you stop at 80%, suddenly the night shift arrives. They start cleaning, repairing gears, and throwing out the damaged equipment. But the story gets even more incredible. Enter Dr. William Turner, a man who would become a living legend in American medicine. This wasn't just another researcher reading books. This was a man who proved these principles worked by living them every single day until he was 105 years old. Dr. Turner had a revelation early in his career when working at a hospital in Boston. He noticed that every patient with serious digestive problems also had problems everywhere else. Their skin looked aged and gray, their energy was low, their immune systems were weak. That's when he realized something profound. Your gut health is the master switch for everything else. He developed what he called his life extension protocol. But don't worry, it wasn't complicated. Dr. Turner would eat a very light breakfast, have a minimal lunch, and save his main meal for early dinner. But here is the key. He would finish eating by 6 p.m. and not eat again until 10 a.m. the next day. That's 16 hours of giving his body time to activate its repair systems. The results were extraordinary. At 100 years old, Dr. Turner was still seeing patients. At 102, he flew from Boston to Miami to give lectures. He worked 18-hour days and felt more energetic than medical students half his age. When reporters asked for his secret, he'd just smile and say, "I simply give my body time to clean house every night." Meanwhile, in New York, Dr. David Chang, a brilliant gastroenterologist, was making discoveries that would shock the medical world. Dr. Chang had invented a new way to look inside people's digestive systems, and what he saw changed everything he thought he knew about health. Over 30 years, Dr. Chung examined over 300,000 patients. He could predict someone's overall health just by looking at their colon. The people who ate standard American diets, processed foods, lots of factory-farmed meat and dairy, had thick, shortened colons with obvious damage. But the people who ate traditional natural diets, their insides were pink, soft, and looked decades younger. But here is what really blew his mind. The people with the healthiest guts were those who regularly gave their digestive systems extended breaks. They weren't following fancy Hollywood diets. They were simply mimicking what our ancestors did naturally, eating in a compressed window and fasting for extended periods overnight. Dr. Chung realized that when you constantly stuff your digestive system, it never gets a chance to repair itself. But when you give it 14 to 16 hours of rest, something magical happens. The cells lining your gut start regenerating. Your liver begins its deep cleaning process. Your entire body shifts into repair mode. Now here is where all these discoveries converge into something you can use tonight. Dr. Reynolds' Nobel Prize research revealed that autophagy doesn't just happen randomly. There is a specific window when it becomes most active, and it is not when you think. Most people believe the magic happens while you sleep. That is only part of the story. The real activation occurs in the final hours before you wake up. When your body has been fasting for 12 to 16 hours, that is when your cellular janitors clock in for their most intensive work shift. But here is the problem with modern American eating patterns. We shut down this process before it can work its magic. We wake up and immediately flood our systems with sugary cereal, toast, or heavy creamers. We send a signal that says, "Cancel the cleanup crew, new shipments are arriving." The healthy seniors in Loma Linda discovered something different. They learned to extend that magical window, sometimes stretching it to 16 or even 18 hours. During this time, their cells weren't just surviving, they were thriving, rebuilding, and getting stronger. Dr. Miller made another fascinating discovery during his decades of research. These healthy seniors weren't just eating less often, they were eating completely different foods than the average American. While most people were eating white bread and potatoes, these seniors were eating purple sweet potatoes. This wasn't by accident. These sweet potatoes are packed with compounds that actually enhance autophagy. They're low on the glycemic index, meaning they don't spike your insulin. Why does that matter? Because insulin is the enemy of autophagy. High insulin shuts down the repair process. These sweet potatoes provide steady energy while keeping your body in a state that promotes cellular repair. But here is what most people miss. They weren't just eating often, they were strategic about what they drank. Dr. Miller noticed many of his healthiest subjects had a daily tea ritual. They drank jasmine, green tea, or special herbal blends. The polyphenols in green tea, for instance, act like a shield, protecting your cells while the cleanup crew does its job. Plus, sipping tea slowly helped them practice portion control. You can't mindlessly snack when you are mindfully sipping hot tea. So how do you activate this ancient wisdom? If you are ready to turn back the clock, you don't need a plane ticket to a remote village. Based on 5 decades of research, here is your step-by-step activation sequence for the Senior Medical Hub community. Week 1, the awareness phase. Start practicing the 80% rule. At each meal, pause when you feel about 80% full. Put the fork down. Take a breath. It's not about counting calories. It's about listening to your body. You should feel satisfied, not stuffed. Week 2, the time shift. Extend your overnight fast gradually. Start with 12 hours between your last meal and your first meal. If you finish dinner at 7 p.m., do not eat until 7 a.m. Once this feels easy, stretch it to 14 hours. Week 3, the morning switch. This is crucial. Instead of immediately eating solid food, start your day with fresh vegetable juice or herbal tea. Then wait 20 minutes. This gives your body time to gently transition from the fasted state to the fed state. Week 4, the superfood integration. Optimize your main meal. Fill your plate with colorful whole foods, sweet potatoes, leafy greens, healthy fats, and lean proteins. Season everything with turmeric, ginger, and garlic, nature's best inflammation fighters. So what can you expect as your cellular cleanup crews get back to work? The changes happen in waves. Days 1 to 7, you will notice improved energy, especially in the late afternoon when you used to crash and reach for a nap. Your sleep will deepen as your body aligns with its natural rhythms. Weeks 2 to 4, mental clarity improves dramatically. That brain fog that makes you forget where you put your keys, it starts to vanish. Your skin starts looking clearer and more radiant. Months 2 to 6, this is where the magic really shows up. Your immune system strengthens. Minor aches and pains in your joints start disappearing. People will begin commenting that you look younger, more vibrant. As I finish sharing this with you, Dr. Miller is still consulting and researching well into his 90s. He proves that genetics is not destiny. The centenarians in California and the longevity experts in Japan aren't living longer just because of special genes. They're living longer because of specific behaviors. And the moment you adopt those behaviors, your results change too. Your cellular repair systems are waiting. They are ready to spring into action the moment you give them the right signals. Tonight, as you finish your last meal a little earlier than usual, remember that you aren't just changing your schedule. You are awakening a repair system that has been dormant for years. You are giving your body the ultimate gift: time. Time to heal, time to repair, and time to regenerate. Now, I have a question for you. If this journey into the secrets of cellular regeneration has inspired you to unlock your body's hidden potential, please type yes in the comments below. Your engagement helps us continue sharing this life-changing research. Hit that like button if you're ready to start your own longevity journey. Share this video with a friend or loved one who needs to hear these secrets. And make sure to subscribe to the Senior Medical Hub for more evidence-based discoveries that could add decades to your life. Thank you for watching, and here's to your health.